Dude, it's bad. It's not good. There goes our whole plan for the entire spring detailing series. We're screwed. All right, everyone, this is the series that I've been promising all you OGers for a long, long time. Shoot, how long have I had this car? 3 years? This is my Golf, G-O-L-F, Golf Blue Unicorn 991.1. It's a 2016 GT3 RS. This is like what I aspire to be as a human. This is what this car is. And it's nice. It's actually really good. I bought it from my friend Ryan Friedman Motor Cars. I paid up substantially to get this thing. It is fully covered in PPF, was serviced by GMG. I'm the third owner, I believe, of the car, and it's good. Under this light, my Cree lights, it actually looks pretty perfect. When I got the thing, to appease me, I polished it and I coated it. It has Crystal Serum Light and XO-V5 on it. I put my Tag Motorsports. These were a short-lived but really awesome wheel that I've kind of had sitting in storage forever. These are a Vossen Tag Motorsports collab that Porsche, I think, sent him a cease and desist on because it looked too much like the stock wheel. I've got the right wheels. I got the right tires. But it's not mine yet. I've been waiting to build this garage. We needed this space. I needed it to, one, make the video look good for you, but two, so I can enjoy the process. So I've been kicking the can, because this is gonna take a lot of effort by not just me, but by others as well. And so what I see in this, well, first of all, right now, it's really dusty. Now, every square inch of this is covered in paint protection film, and I think it's SunTech. Doesn't look like Expel. There's not a lot of orange peel. It's pretty decent, and it's a pretty well done job. It was probably done by one of the California installers. It's a really quality install, and it's a quality product. But there's scratches and swirls, and I'm pretty sure it's on the paint underneath. I did polish it. I two-step polished the PPF, which you can do, but that didn't solve it. We'll pull it out after we decon it here on the next video, and I'll show you in the sun. There's swirl marks all over the car, and that's not acceptable to me. I would think that PPF would cover that up, but so I can't tell if it's in the paint, if the paint was corrected before the PPF was installed, or if I'm looking through the PPF and it's got imperfections there. I do need new tires, and I did something, I screwed up, and I put some aftermarket gauges in that kind of match a 911R, only they're in a slight blue hue, and they're real splotchy looking, so I'm gonna have to spend $1,000 to buy OE gauges. It had white gauges stock, I don't like white gauges, and so I'm gonna swap that, and I do need to swap the pedals. But I have done quite a bit to the interior. I had my friend Edgard do stitching here, stitching here, leather here. I had him do my bolster protectors as well. So the interior is looking really good. I have a color matched fire extinguisher from, I think it's OEMfireextinguisher.com. So that's color matched and debadged. I did put the radar detector in. The leather's been treated by Leader Max. So I took the seats out. So the seats are looking beautiful. So the interior is completely dialed with the exception of doing those, couple of things. I want to do the pedals and swap the gauges. But the exterior is what needs the love. I do have a Dundon exhaust on it as well. So the car is set up. Tires are ready to be replaced. So we're going to do that in this series. But what you're going to see us do, I'm going to wash it, decon it. I'm going to remove the PPF. I'm going to polish it. It's going to go down to Next Armor and get UltraFit film installed. It's going to get Pro Master Film Solutions is going to do 70% tint. So I need to take the cage out so we can get to the back window. So we need to do that. And it's going to be a big project, and it's going to take me a long, long time. But we're going to bring you along for the ride. I know this is a high-end car, and this is a high-end garage, and we got all kinds of cool stuff. But we're going to show you some solutions that really aren't unreasonable. I'm gonna show you some unreasonable things like our dual pressure washing system. I'm gonna show you the high torque tool. I'm gonna show you some fancy polishers, but I'm also gonna show you some things like the Armor foam cannon that just makes sense for everybody. So I hope you're for it. You're down for the ride here on my GT3 RS. We're gonna make it mine, and who knows, maybe at the end of it, maybe I'll be able to drive it. That'll be cool. So let's get started on the decon. The foam cannon of the hour for this video. This is a entry-level, Chinese built to a price point. Pretty nice bottle. It's got nice dilution on the side. I think it's zinc plated. And then there's a 1.25 in here, so I gotta run back over and grab a 1.5. And so you put your fill tube on here, siphon tube. And then it's nice because it's a quarter turn design. So quarter turn, and then you have your fan adjustment, your arrow adjustment, and there's a nice little detent. And so I'm gonna grab a flathead screwdriver. Comes with an extra filter, and interesting, it has an O-ring seat on this. So you won't use tape, you just use the O-ring. Now, let me show you how this works. If you're new to this, first you gotta get this screwdriver drawer to look as awesome as this one does. And second, you need a flathead. And can you see in there, Wyatt? See that little guy in there? See the little flat section? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take my screwdriver. I'm gonna take it out. Now this guy has a certain size hole in it, and it says 1.25 on there. This guy has a bigger hole, which is 1.5, which is the proper size for my dual pressure washer setup. Because we have more flow, I need a bigger orifice. So you want to make sure, if you're new to pressure washing and using foam cannons, you don't want to be using an improper orifice size. You want to use the correct size. So this 1/4 inch plug did come with the tool. So just get the O-ring to seat. And we got our foam cannon set up. It's pretty nice looking. This is why we brought it in the store. I'm like, you know, for our entry-level packages, I mean, I would always buy the grills. The grills and the guys at Armor don't contend that this is better. It's just, you know, it's a certain price point. It's got the little weight, little stainless steel weighted ball on the end of it, on the inlet. No metering with this, but it's gonna do a good job. So let's get our soap ready. Now for this project, I don't need to do iron removal, but I will show you how iron removal works. Again, we're gonna pull the PPF off. I just wanna get the dust and get it clean. It'll be nicer to work. But traditionally, the way the decontamination process works is we would use a soap like OG Decon soap, which I have right here in our press-all squeeze bottles. Look how good that looks. These are available on obsessedgarage.com. Shameless plug. And this product here is designed to strip off waxes and sealants and maybe clean your surface a little better than average. So we're gonna fill up our rinse bucket, or not. Mike probably just turned the water off. Yeah, he turned the water off so it wouldn't freeze. We actually got in the 20s here in Central Florida. So first step, built hammer touchless. Second step, foam and wash, contact wash with Decon soap. Third step would be iron removal. So spray it down, let it sit, rinse it off. Fourth step would be clay lube and a clay scrubber, and then dry. We're gonna skip step 3 and 4 and go right to step 5, which is to dry it. All right, so let's foam it up. This is why you do a 100-foot hose, so that way you can go hide from the sun when you need to. So I'm gonna foam the car dry. So the car's dry. Yeah, the other thing I need to do is order a new front lip, so I should probably do that in this series as well. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes. I think we're good. Under the sun here. The sun is shaded by this oak tree, so we're good. Coming in 2026 is I need a dedicated wash bay. That's what I need. We're gonna build that out here. See, this is awesome when you have this kind of stuff. Right next to the door, out of the way. All right, let's rinse it off, and then we'll come and let's take our foam cannon with us, and we'll test out the Armor foam cannon. So the reason why you want more flow like this is that it makes this a much more enjoyable experience, this part where you're, you know, getting the soap off. More efficient, just better. So you can see, paint's in great condition, or so it seems. It looks perfect. Wait till we pull out in the sun and you'll be able to see all the swirls. But you're like, well, Matt, what the heck are you doing here? This car's perfect. Well, it isn't perfect until we do the perfecting. And again, it's a car, so it'll never be perfect, but we're chasing excellence. Okay, next step is to foam it with our Decon soap, which is gonna be our contact wash. Kinda like my little holder here. So, you know, 40 bucks, this thing does a great job. In our basic packages, we had the original MTM for years. And that was like 80 bucks, so this is less money and quite a bit more modern. The bottle's better. It actually stands up when it, you know, when it's filled. The MTM falls over. This one's good. So I want to get the whole surface covered in soap. You could always just skip this step, or skip the step of belt hammer if you wanted to, but I figure why not. Kind of a weird video to make because it's a very unique circumstance in that when would you be removing pretty decent, uncontaminated, dialed in PPF and starting from scratch. So bear with me. So maybe watch this more as entertainment than a tutorial. I think it's nice enough to ditch the sweatshirt. Just exhibit normal washing practices where I'm not using weight and pressure. I'm just letting the pad do the job. Now, since we're 90% clean already from the built hammer, I find myself doing larger sections than I would if I wasn't pre-cleaning the car. So like I'm doing this whole half of the roof section without visiting the bucket. So I did this because I assumed it would take me a little while to get through this project, where I got this all dialed in to my standards. And so I did take the time to polish it, to polish the PPF that's on it and coat it. I actually thought I could restore it, and then I did all that work, and I came out in the sun one day and I'm like, oh shoot, there's still scratches. Because on the lights, under the lights in the garage, I couldn't see it. Even on the lights with like a scan grip, couldn't see it. So I'm guessing it's in the paint, but we're about to find out. We're gonna solve that mystery together. The only thing I'm worried about is there's a paint chip on this rear quarter, and I'm hoping it doesn't pull paint. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time and a lot of steam on that section. But we're gonna show you how to remove PPF. It's not fun. And I'm just praying that when I start removing it, that it doesn't leave a bunch of adhesive behind. Rinse it off, blow dry it, and I'll pull it over there in the sun, and I think I can show you what we're dealing with. It's such a shame. Look how good the water's performing. I mean, it's in good shape. All right, let me grab the leaf blower and we'll blow it off. Let's dry this thing off. So I bought some Howard lights for my ears. And then this is the Ego 880, fresh and clean. It's my first use. I haven't used it yet. So this is why I love DI water so much, because I don't have to rush it. In fact, I don't have to dry it if I don't want to. Shoot, you can see it from right here, look. From my angle, see all those scratches? So we're gonna find out, is that in the PPF or is that underneath? So I'm not gonna contact dry because we're gonna get this thing all water all over from steam. But let me pull out in the sun so you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about, and so you know I'm not freaking crazy. So yeah, if you come over from this side, Wyatt, and you look at all this, see all the circles? Right. So the entire car looks like that. My gut tells me that that's on the PPF and it just didn't correct out just from aggressive washing. Yeah, I mean, you can only see it from certain angles too, which is part of the deal. And I'm sure it's hard to capture, it's hard to see. So the whole car looks like that, and that's not an OG acceptable result. And this is my favorite, one of the favorite tools I have. It's a Dupre Tosca. This is a steamer, and it's really awesome. And they only sell factory direct, so, but I haven't talked to them in a number of years, so maybe I can convince them. And this is gonna be the workhorse to pull off the PPF. We're just praying that I can heat it up and it pulls off nicely and doesn't leave big, giant portions of adhesive. It takes about 5 minutes to get up to temperature, and it lets us know when it's ready. All right, this is my baby. I'm not under the gun, and so I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna use extra heat. You know, in other cars, I've kind of sent it. You know, some of the giveaway cars had like the 1M had PPF on, I just sent it. Got it done, got it off. This, I'm gonna do it, you know, maybe one panel at a time. I'm gonna start with the roof here because we wanna, you know, take it back out and show you on camera what we're dealing with. Was it the PPF or was it the paint? But the steam is going to heat up the adhesive, and then we're gonna find out, one, how easy is it to pull, and then two, hopefully it's not pulling any paint. You know, this is one of the things that people don't talk about, is that I'm worried about my headlights. And if I pull the UV coat, so we're gonna have to do really slow, use lots of heat, try not to build up pressure pulling, which, you know, you normally do when you're pulling PPF. We're gonna try to do as little of that as possible so we can get this removed nice and neatly. So I'm gonna take my steamer, I'm gonna heat up the area. Fingers crossed, please come off cleanly and easily. Once you get it started, that's the tricky part, is getting it. Because a good PPF installer has tucked all these edges, which is great until you try to remove it. Every time I pull PPF off, I don't want to put it back on because your paint never looks as good with it on it. But look at my GT4 over there. It's pretty darn sharp. You put the right stuff on a quality application. So this car, once I get this off, is gonna go down to Next Armor and get re-PPF'd after I get the paint perfected, corrected. God dang, this is not a good sign, people. The fact that I can't even get it started. Did you see this drawer yet? That's where it's at, bros. Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so we at least got it started. This is gonna be horrible. I can already tell. Like, it's leaving adhesive. Not a lot, but I just can't get a good grip because it's edge wrapped here. So it keeps tearing. So it's relatively clear. You know, it's a little bit of yellowing. Let's see if we can get off the fender. The hoods and the roof I thought would be easy, but the roof's gonna be hard. The problem is gonna be my hands aren't gonna be able to hold up. What we'll probably have to do is like do one panel, polish it, take a day off. It's not terrible, but let's hope this comes off reasonably easy. So this is CarPro Tarex, which is an adhesive remover, and then these are rip and rags that we'll kind of utilize. Let's see. Okay, it's gonna come off okay. All right, this last little bit. I'm excited to pull this outside and see what we're working with. So what happens when you PPF over top of uncorrected paint, or come back here. So we can fix all that. It's gonna make for a better transformation. Makes me feel better than pulling off $7,500 worth of PPF. So we'll grab a little montage here and there of doing PPF over the next week removal. Yeah, my work is now cut out for me. I'm gonna have to figure out something for my hands so that my fingers don't fall apart. I've done a whole car before. By the end of it, my fingers are in pretty bad shape. So we're gonna figure out some sort of glove that works. Dude, it's bad. It's not good. There goes our whole plan for the entire spring detailing series. We're screwed. Okay, so I was off camera and I kind of did the door, took the mirror off and was rolling, everything was going good. And I started to pull the PPF here and doing them real gentle, real slow, a little pressure as possible, keeping it heated, not overheated, but proper heated. And I noticed a little bit of clear coat peel. I thought maybe this was just like dried adhesive. And then I noticed a little bit more. I didn't notice any color, so there wasn't any color coming with it. And then I got down to this section here, and then I saw it lifting. And look at what we got here, Wyatt. This is bad. This is real bad. So we've got some peeling. The great news thus far, if nothing else peels in the car, we have a body line, and then it's peeled also in the fender liner here, and peeled a little bit up here. So we can work with this body line and then carry that. And so I might be okay and not have to repaint. The part I'm worried about is up here. But I just turned our 2-week detailing series into probably a 2-month repaint life decision type of video. We're gonna figure out what to do. I'm pretty sure I just vaporized about 50 grand. Let me know in the comments, how much money did I just lose on my paint to sample car that I paid $1 zillion over sticker for, since I now I'm gonna have to repaint it? What do you think? Give me some numbers in the comments. All right, so I think my strategy here is I'm gonna keep working through this. I'm gonna finish getting all the PPF off and make sure there aren't any other damaged spots. And then I'll wait to polish. The car's gonna have to go down to Jose to get blended, to get painted. Good news is, no metallic, single sort of pastel color should be relatively easy to blend and match. Now I have to decide, and this is the decision tree that you're going to go into when you're, eventually pull PPF and you pull the paint on your car. Hopefully it's not as expensive and rare as this car is, but when that happens, you have to decide what to do. My gut is telling me, depending on how much paint I need to do, there's a couple little blemishes on the front hood, and then if this pulls here, this paint chip, and if I have to do a little bit more work painting, I may not put PPF on it. Then once it's been sort of, that seal is broken, I might as well just paint it whenever it needs to be painted and not do this PPF chase. So that's something I got to think about. Paint always looks better without PPF on it, but I've got to decide what to do. And so I think this now becomes more of a life decision tree video rather than just the spring detailing series. So hope you're along for the ride. We'll be talking about, the paint and probably grabbing some video of how the paint process goes. And then am I going to PPF it? And if I do PPF it, how long do I have to take? How long do I have to wait? And so we're going to kind of work on that process here together. So anyway, stay tuned. I hate to say it, but it's going to be stay tuned for who knows how long this takes me to get set up. I'll let you know if there's any other damage or any other issues, but as of right now, 2 weeks just turned into 2 months. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. Is my life over? How screwed am I? See you soon.